Good morning, welcome back to week 2 of community. This is my third time trying to make this video today. The first time my neighbor's dog ran across my yard and scared the heck out of me, and I did not stop the video for that. So yeah, here we are. And it is Sunday for me, and it might be any other day of the week for you. If you're feeling a little bit scatterbrained today, don't feel bad. When I was getting dressed for this video, I realized I had my pajama pants on backwards since about 9 o'clock last night. So that's all fun. So today we are going to be looking in Romans 1, chapter 1, verses 21 through 23. So we're only looking at 3 verses today, but it's in a really, really good section of the Bible. So we only have a few verses. Again, I'm going to start out by reading through the whole thing over again. So that's how every week is going to go, is I'm just going to start by reading all of the verses. So here we go. Alright, verse 18. The wrath of God is being revealed from heaven against all the godlessness and wickedness of people who suppress the truth by their wickedness, since what may be known about God is plain to them, because God has made it plain to them. For since the creation of the world, God's invisible qualities, his eternal power and divine nature have been clearly seen, being understood from what has been made, so that people are without excuse. That was last week's section. For although they knew God, they neither glorified him nor gave thanks to him, but their thinking became futile, and their foolish hearts were darkened. Although they claimed to be wise, they became fools, exchanged the glory of the immortal God for images made to look like mortal human beings and birds and animals and reptiles. Therefore God gave them over in the sinful desires of their hearts to sexual impurity for the degrading of their bodies with one another. They exchanged the truth about God for a lie, and worshipped and served created things rather than the Creator, who is praised forever. Amen. Because of this, God gave them over to shameful lusts. Even their women exchanged natural sexual relations for unnatural ones. In the same way, the men also abandoned natural relations with the women and were inflamed with lust for one another. Men committed shameful acts with one another and received in themselves the due penalty for their error. Furthermore, just as they did not think it worthwhile to retain the knowledge of God, so God gave them over to a depraved mind so that they do what ought not to be done. They have become filled with every kind of wickedness, evil, greed, and depravity. They are full of envy, murder, strife, deceit, and malice. They are gossips, slanderers, God-haters, insolent, arrogant, and boastful. They invent ways of doing evil. They disobey their parents. They have no understanding, no fidelity, no love, no mercy. Although they know God's righteous decree that those who do such things deserve death, they not only continue to do these things, but also approve of those who practice them. Okay, so we are going to be looking at verses 21 through 23, and I would encourage you to, if you have a Bible, to get it out. You can download a Bible app on your phone. You can just look up these verses on a computer or a tablet, laptop, whatever you want to do. So here we go. This is 21 through 23. I'm going to read them. Although they knew God, they neither glorified him as God nor gave thanks to him, but their thinking became futile, and their foolish hearts were darkened. Although they claimed to be wise, they became fools, and exchanged the glory of the immortal God for images made to look like mortal human beings and birds and animals and reptiles. So let's start with verse 21, obviously, since that's the verse that comes first. For although they knew God, they neither glorified him nor gave thanks to him, but their thinking became futile, and their foolish hearts were darkened. So they knew God, right? They knew he existed, as we went over in last week. They knew God. They didn't glorify him as God, so they didn't think of him as God, and they didn't give thanks to him. So that's the first section. That even though they knew that God was real, they did not glorify him as God, and they did not give thanks to him, and their thinking became futile, and their foolish hearts were darkened. It's pretty simple. Verse 22. Although they claimed to be wise, they became fools. That's a pretty short verse, and I think that y'all can figure that out on your own, because it says that they thought that they were all smart and stuff, but they really weren't. They were foolish. And they exchanged the glory of the immortal God for beings made to look like mortal human beings and birds and animals and reptiles. So when I think about this, I think about Buddhism and the religions that worship, animals or humans or whatever. But then I also, after thinking about it for a while, I came to think about celebrities. So I want you to think right now in your mind, you can even write it down if you want, who is a celebrity that you really like, or Like, it could be a singer, an author, an actress, an actor, like anything, like any famous person that you really like, because that's going to be an idol for you. And through all of this, I want you to think about this week. Are you idolizing that person? Because really, I think it says in the Bible somewhere that an idol is anything that takes your mind off of God. Personally, I don't follow celebrities. And I just choose not to, honestly. Like, I don't really care. I think that they're just normal people. Because I feel like we're, like, as a whole, for the earth, we idolize people. And so I know that's not necessarily what this is saying right here, that they literally, like, made images that look like humans, and, like, I know that this is, like, not exactly what it's saying, because I actually, in my Bible class last year, we did a unit on Hinduism and Buddhism, and it was very interesting, and I would encourage you to, if you don't know what that is, to do some research about it. So, yeah. And they exchanged the glory of the immortal God. So instead of giving God glory, they decided to give glory to these images that they made that looked like animals and birds and reptiles and even people, which is kind of weird. So that is that section. That is sadly all of those verses are for this week, and I want to go on so bad, because next week we're going to be looking at verses 24 through 25, I think. And so there's only 2 verses, but they're longer. And then in the 4th week, we're going to be looking through verses 26 through 27, which are some verses that I am really wanting to get into, just because I'm interested to see how this goes over with you guys. I'm interested to see if you agree with my views, if you don't agree with my views, or whatever. So, I would like to thank you guys for following me through this journey. Like I said and mentioned a long time ago, I don't remember when, I have grown during this as a Christian, and it has helped me a lot. So I thank you guys so much. So have a great week, and I'm praying for you guys. Bye!